Greetings, Commanders! Alright, everything's okay. It's okay. We're doing a fan video. We haven't done one of these in a while. Let's dig in. So, we haven't got a lot of PvE content worth making videos about, but with this new level 9 monster, we've had a lot of fun just trying it out, remembering old strategies, remembering new gem sets. So, I posted a video about, the struggles and the joys of fighting that monster, the risks and all that, and the fans started sending me videos. So I got a lot of new content I'm going to throw off today, and you guys are welcome to enjoy it with me. We'll talk about strategies, and let's see if I can't throw that one, that one, that one. All right. Let's see, is that all 5? Okay, good deal. Okay, so with the new level 9 monster, there was that complication that it's an airship commander that actually has airship troops that actually has guaranteed hit. Unlike the 7 and 8 monster, the level 9 monster is actually dangerous to attack into. So I had a couple failed attacks with the Dodger Roger and 2 failed attacks with the Dodger Roger. And then a server mate of mine, Dark Nova, showed me his Stella replay with tier 8, which was what I showed yesterday. And it was legendary. I was like, dude, you killed the tier 10 with tier 8. And you got to remember, these tier 10 aren't as geared or aren't as buffed from research and all the other stuff we get from our normal base ships versus the PvE. The PvE monsters aren't as bad as a real player, aren't as dangerous as a real player. Anyway, long story short, I started getting all these videos, and I want to share them with you guys. So I knew that the biggest danger was getting the 1,000 tier 10 airships to the face, obviously. Nobody wants to get hit by that with the Vega breakdown. So, putting troops in slot 2 was the obvious thing to do because the monster gets first strike, so your slot 1's always going to get hit. So you may as well put a ranger there to let it take the first hit. So your first strike is your second slot. So that's the strategy moving forward with pretty much everyone. You can do third slot if you're Gwen. Gwen did that for his Hoodoo replay. But for the most part, second slot's the best, and then Dodgers and all the other slots. And Dodgers means just like a high tier troop with dodge. Yeah, 1 unit just to dodge so you survive long enough. But anyway, let's jump into some of these replays, and then I'll show you mine. My replay came from this idea here. So let's start with King Kane's Vega replay. Nope, this one. King Kane, Vega replay, 300,000 leadership, tier 10. He's rocking, check out his gear real quick. He's rocking crit damage, damage, and then the chest is kind of useless in all this. It's just there for a gem effect, if anything. So damage in all 4 slots, max damage. Okay, which makes sense, right? You're going to trigger awakenings, you're going to trigger breakdowns. You want to just kill as many troops as possible. So the first thing happens right there, his rangers die. Sorry about the low quality, that's a YouTube issue. So his first slot is going to be his tier 10. Here comes a Gemini attack. Lucky, right? Because if he triggers an airship, awakening, and a Gemini, he'll one-shot him. So here comes the awakening as well. So 300,000 leaderships worth of and pure damage gear on this Vega is going to kill everything with an awakening. Boom! Because remember, they're not as powerful as a normal player's troops. And then the Gemini triggers and he one-shots him. He didn't even use his 5th slot. So that was a pretty legendary overkill replay. Most players aren't rocking 300,000 leadership in tier 10. But honorable mention because it was the most dominating tier 10 performance I've seen that was sent to me. So thanks for sending that, King Kane. What guild is he from? ZRO. Zero. Shout out to Zero. All right, ZRO Guild. Then we got Gwen from... Oh, God. Is it UFF? Where's Gwen from? No, Winter Soldiers. Albatross's guild. And, what's it called? Albatross and Anubis' guild. Okay. So here's his level 9 replay. Rocking the same gear, all damage, right? Tyrant, or Titan, Destruction Helm, and Maguel. Now, you can use Eye of Abyss if you don't want to use Destruction Helm. Technically, Destruction Helm hits a little bit harder, like 15% harder. Crit damage that you get on the Eye of Abyss isn't as good as raw damage in most cases. So anyway, what he does here is he's running a 150,000 leadership tier 10 Hoodoo, and instead of doing slot 2, he does slot 3, which is fine. So he's going to have a Hoodoo trigger of Walker Awakening, which Awakening for Walker's not that great, but because it's Hoodoo, he's going to get that Death Rattle bonus. And he gets a Leo, so to guarantee he's going to one-shot it, which he would anyway. So there's the one-shot. The Awakening kills all 3. Death Rattle, Death Rattle, Death Rattle. And the 3rd Death Rattle pretty much takes everything down to nothing. Now, at this point, I don't know if 69 tier 10 troops would kill his ship. I doubt it would. Maybe it would. I don't know. But he was able to get another awakening on the second attack and clear the rest and then win the fight. So pretty dominating performance there. Not as good as the Vega replay, but with half as many troops and with a Walker commander. Not that strength and a weakened effect has an effect on tier 10 versus tier 10, but great replay nonetheless. Thanks for sending it to me. What else do we got? Lucifer from CH1 Free has a Stella replay. Not surprising. Stella replays are going to be dominant. But same idea here. Except he went dodge gear in the pants and dodge in the chest and then rabbit ear headband in the head, which strength and weakened infantry versus airships, like I said, doesn't have the effect on this matchup unless they're dodging, which they're not. So he could have been better off with damage there, but you'll see in this replay he didn't need it. He's got double Titans for the damage carry, and then of course it's Stella, so she's going to be able to use her skills there to crush through. Also, Gemini and Sagittarius, great gems always for hitting airships. Why is this taking forever? Okay, it's a longer replay. All right, so same idea. Troops in slot 2 because Vega gets the first attack, and he hit the breakdown, so that's even more dangerous. If Vega does the breakdown in his first attack, you're going to lose some troops, a lot of troops. The Metacrystal healing is nice. If you haven't watched how to heal your troops for free now, check the Metacrystal video I did a couple days ago. So there's the first Wings of Eternity, and if you look at that, there's only 120,000 leadership, and he killed 500, half the stack. Then the Awakening did a ton of damage in the back row. So he almost instantly kills this monster, and he could have put dodgers in those back slots if he wanted to, but maybe that would have been the right thing to do. But he honestly just overkilled this thing so hard. So 120k Stella with Wings of Eternity in tier 9 with 2 bits of damage gear just crushed through, and that's the power of Stella. She's just amazing like that. Now, the argument about Stella versus the X has always been, and I don't want to rehash this argument, but the X is not as good as Stella in PvP fights. However, the one time the X is better than Stella is in win more conditions where you want to risk not getting hit and ending a fight sooner than later. But because the X is never as good as Stella against Rogers, Stella will always be triggering more and hitting harder, and we don't care about the X's second skill, which allows her to get a free attack if she kills a slot of troops. But that's because she can't typically one-shot a Rogers, so you don't get any value out of it. But in PvE, the X is amazing. So this replay comes in from Pan Sarge with the X with 160,000 leadership and tier 9. And this was his first kill. Same idea, slot 2. But look how he does it. Mysterious Wind, that's the bonus skill. But he one-shot slot 1 and 2. Bloodthirst triggers, didn't need the Gemini, just kills it straight up. So same idea there. Still, Stella's better. Don't fall for it. But great replay. Thank you, Sarge. And the last one was sent from Mitsu ASXU from UFF with his Bullet replay. And I kind of trashed, because Bullet's not a great PvE commander. He's not a great PvP commander. He's strictly great for ignore tier suppression. Even his Ghost Cannon skill doesn't help with the Infantry Awakening. If the Ghost Cannon one-shots the slot, then if you trigger Infantry Awakening and it hits the back slot, the Infantry Awakening is wasted. So just not a great commander for PvP, but PvE, excuse me. But 180,000 leadership, tier 9, and he goes. Did he go pure damage gear? Does he show us? Yeah. So his same idea, all damage gear. He went for the Skywalker in the second weapon slot. He probably had another Titan, but I don't know why he did that. It doesn't matter. Maybe he had the gem he needed. Anyway, so he goes Power Sagittarius, so he's gonna one-shot the slot. Light of Gemini, so he's gonna double strike it. No Awakening, but still going to clear that slot there. And it kind of rolls the dice. Basically, he has no troops in slot 6. Oh, I'm all pointing to it. I'm pointing to it. You can't see it. Slot 6 down here doesn't even have troops. So if he wouldn't have hit the Gemini or the Awakening, he wouldn't have won this fight. He actually would have lost. But he's not risking any troops because all these fights you're seeing them, they're killing all the troops in the back row before they have a chance to strike back. So the tier 9, the 9 monster is much squishier than we originally were concerned about, and then we're getting all these great replays because of it. However, now going back to what I said in the original, I'll show you guys my Bullets replay because I kind of did the same thing. I just crushed through it, didn't risk anything too much, went all damage gear. It's funny how no one really talked about going pure damage gear. Everyone knows to do it. I wasn't planning on dodging in my main slots. I wasn't worried about losing troops in slots 2 and 5 because I knew that I would trigger at least Infantry Awakening and kill that back row, and I would still get first strike. But I hit the Gemini, which is more than enough, which opened him up, and then you'll see here I'll get to go slot 5 and then crush right through, and I only lost a couple Cronus, but it was nice. As long as Gemini or Awakening triggered in my second attack, I wasn't going to get hit by that 5th slot, and also because I lost troops in slot 1, I was going to attack first. So I pretty much had no risk of being damaged. I'll show you that again. I had no risk of being damaged because I was going to one-shot his slot number 2 with my slot number 2. And then by the time it came all the way around, if his slot number 5 was alive, my slot number 5 was going to go first because I let my Ranger die early. So that's how I took 0 risk in that. If you didn't catch all that, then maybe you want to spend a little more time thinking about how to do PvE and how the turns change hands and how to get priority in attack, because getting hit by 1,000 tier 10 airships is a serious issue. But once you understand the mechanics and get around it, it makes it much more manageable, and it's a easy way to get a lot of free golds whenever these events come around. So there's that replay. Now, to the greatest replay I think I've seen in a long time. Credit to Dark Nova for mentioning the idea for using Ares gems, but I have to give out the original shout out to Spartan Nuts and Magnum PI, I think. Magnum PI from, oh god, he was in Chaw back in the day, but Magnum PI and Spartan Nuts used to run Stellas, and I forget which one, maybe it was both of them. They figured out that Ares gems on Stella, if triggered 3 or 4 times, could basically make her damage immune to all your opponents, because the Ares gem set disables your opponent's attack. So your opponents have to have a ton of attacks stacked up. And if you trigger Ares enough, it literally makes them hit for nothing, no damage. So watch what happens in this replay. Where is my Light of Aquarius? I picked the one thing that doesn't have Ares on it. Way to go. Okay, there's the Bite of Ares. 20% chance to trigger before the next attack. Action of all enemy forces will decrease by 100% until the next action. But it doesn't mean like all damage reduces to 0. It just means whatever. If they had plus 400% damage, it goes to 300 damage and then 200 damage. So what's going to happen here is I go Dodgers and slots 1 and 3 and in the back row. And what I'm really banking on is just getting 3 or 4 stacks of Ares to trigger. So I kind of knew that I was going to risk getting hit in the slot number 2, but that's okay. I wasn't risking any amount of troops I wasn't willing to lose. And more importantly, I wanted slot 1 to have as many chances as possible to trigger that Ares. And if I was... And luck was in my favor. 60% chance to do Wings of Eternity, 20% chance to trigger. I thought I'd get it, but I was actually unlucky. I didn't trigger any Ares. I did get Wings of Eternity a few times. I did get Wings of Eternity here. I didn't trigger Ares yet, but, and then there's the Wings of Eternity going there. Wait, where's my... Oh, I didn't trigger anything in that second slot. So I'm actually very unlucky at this point. But third slot is going. Still haven't lost any troops. He hasn't landed any breakdowns. There's the Bite of Ares. So I finally land my first Ares. So when I do get hit, the damage is going to be reduced. But he gets unlucky. 4 attacks in a row, he does not get a breakdown. So I could have won with Dodger Roger on this replay. I mean, Jesus. But there's the Wings of Eternity. There's already been 1 stack of Ares. We're still trying to get 3 stacks to go damage immune. So when we get hit by that breakdown, it doesn't do any damage. So I got lucky again. He doesn't do a breakdown. There's the second Bite of Ares. Remember, every time it goes around, it resets, so I have to keep hitting these Bite of Ares as often as possible. Here comes the 6th slot. We have 2 Bite of Ares going, and we didn't get the 3rd one yet. So here comes the first breakdown. We're going to get hit, and 0 damage. So it only took 2 bites of Ares, maybe 3, 2 or 3, to make him do 0 damage to me, which was awesome. And then from there on, I literally just start whittling him down. And we're not talking a lot of troops here. 50 times 200 is what, 10,000 leadership? 10,000 leadership tier 10 Stella with dodge gear and Ares. Really Ares. All you have to do is trigger Ares twice. And like with Stella and how the math works out, because of how Wings of Eternity triggers, I think it turns out to like 35% chance to trigger. And if you only need 2 triggers and you have 6 slots of troops, now granted you do lose troops if you don't trigger it soon enough. Bottom line is you have 6 chances to trigger a 35-40% chance skill twice per round. It's easy to do. It's easy to do. You're going to land it 9 out of 10 times. So that's what happens. This replay goes on and on and on, and I just keep whittling them down the middle. I didn't risk troops in the other slots. And I didn't need to, because I was just going damage down the middle. In hindsight, I probably could have put damage pants on her legs, just because I was dodging anyway. I didn't need that much dodge, so I could have done it faster, but whatever. It worked out. So there's the fastest replay. I did end up losing a few troops here and there, but overall I won the battle. And even though they were hitting my ship, they had that Bite of Ares on them, they were doing 0 damage to my ship, or 1 damage at a time. And remember, the overall damage he had was attack plus 75% there, attack plus 50% there, and whatever base stats he had from troops. So very cool. That's what we're doing with the PvE content for this video. Well, that's what this video is about, I should say. Doing PvE stuff. So if you have any great replays that show off a new gym set or a new commander that no one anticipated, show it off. I didn't show a Rogers replay because it's pretty straightforward, and frankly, Rogers more of a PvP commander. He can do PvE stuff, but whatever. And then, of course, I could have had a Golem replay, but it's basically the same as a Vega replay, so nothing big there. But yeah, if you got any replays you want to show off, send them to me. Put them on YouTube or mail me directly online. Don't send me a 10-minute video online. That's too much to download, right? Send me like a 1-minute video or less, or upload it to YouTube and send me the link. So if you got something great you want to show off to me in the community, we're happy to see it. And thanks for watching. So if you haven't already, we still got more content coming for the spring festivals. Tell your guildmates. If anything new comes out, anything about the event comes out, any tricks come out, we'll keep uncovering it. If any new discoveries are found, we'll push them on the channel. That's what we're here for. So help me promote the channel. We're still creeping up to 5,000 subscribers. We are so close. What are we at? 45, 41. We got a ways to go. So help me out. Share this video. Share it to your guildmates. Share it in your guild mail all. And let's get the channel to 5,000 subs. And let's get some more content to push out to new viewers. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button. We'll see you on the next one. My name is Melt.